So Jesus is still in Jerusalem. John 8, 1 to 11. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, and at dawn he appeared again in the temple courts, where all the people gathered round him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman who had been caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now what do you say?" They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. And when they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard him began to go away, one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, sir," she said. "Then neither do I condemn you," Jesus declared. "Go now and leave your life of sin." This is amazing. Do you remember that Jesus said to Nicodemus, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him"? This is a perfect example of this. Now, I'm not sure how the woman had been caught. Knowing these people, she might have been framed or set up, I reckon, in order to create the opportunity for condemning her. They may have known her. Who knows? But Jesus wasn't about to be trapped by them. Also notice he's writing on the ground. What's he writing? No one is sure. I've read a lot of theories about this. But perhaps it's something to do with mercy. Perhaps it's that verse from Micah, "I desire mercy, not sacrifice." Or perhaps he's writing the names down of all the people who were accusing the woman around him. That would have got them freaked out. He knows they are sinners, and so do they. They're full of guilt, but they're trying to cover it up by obeying all these rules and traditions and rituals. In Isaiah, the prophet says everyone has sinned and fallen short of God's best. Everyone, including all those people around them. So they would have seen that they could not condemn her because they weren't without sin. They had sin in their lives. They would end up condemning themselves. You can't exactly stone yourself, can you? Notice too that the older ones left first. The younger, zealous leaders would have had their stones sharpened, ready to kill. But the older ones would have realized the implication of Jesus' words and would have had the wisdom not to push it much further. And at the end, no one is left. They've all gone except the woman and, of course, Jesus. And he says she's free to go, but must leave her life of sin. Wow.